opening statement. We'll take questions for the players after that. Then we'll dismiss the players and take questions for the coach. And just a reminder to raise your hand, wait for the microphone, identify yourself, and please direct your questions to specific players. And with that, Coach, congratulations. We'll let you lead us off.
Yep. Thank you. First off, I want to congratulate Akron on a great season. And Coach Gross does a great job. Obviously, we're fortunate today to come out on the right side of it. These games are something you never take for granted. I'm sitting watching them the last 2 days in my hotel room, and you can feel the stress in your stomach because I've been fortunate to be in 26 first-round games now. So I know how they feel. I know how they feel when you're seated low and how they feel when you're seated high. So, and that's why our mantra basically is we threw the seeds out the window. These are two good teams playing that both had good seasons, earned their way here, and we had a job to do. So our guys did a very good job coming out, having our emotions, in a good sweet spot. We weren't too high, weren't too low. Obviously we came out, we made 3 threes to start the game. That's a great start, but you just know as a coach that there's something coming. And then Akron hit back, and then our guys settled in. And, I think other than, being a little bit loose with the ball in the first half, I thought we played exceptional. So credit goes to the players and the coaching staff for their preparation. I'm thankful for everybody's contributions, and I can't wait to see who we play next.
All right, we'll take questions for the players now.
Chris Brown, AZ Bandcat Sports. Trey, you've scored in double figures in 4 of your last 5 games. What's working for you right now, just on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, just seeing the ball go in, that obviously helps confidence. But, throughout the struggles, my teammates and coaches never lost confidence in me. They kept putting me in good spots, and I just started converting. But credit goes to my teammates, especially today. I was getting in right at the hoop. They were passing it to me right where I got wide open shots. So it wasn't too hard because I got great teammates.
Lindsay Schnell, The Athletic. I would like to know what each of you, which dunk was your favorite tonight?
Oh, wow. I would say Trey's putback dunk. Yeah, that was probably the best one.
No, definitely Trey's putback dunk. He's unk, so it was surprising.
Yeah, I am the old head, but I'll give it to Carter's little lob, I think, from Henry. His head was above the rim. I didn't get quite that high on mine, but, I appreciate the compliments from them.
For Trey, just for you guys to kind of come out of Curtis Crabtree, Fox 13 Seattle here, for you guys to kind of come out that 9-0 run right out of the gates and kind of set the tone early, how much did that just kind of get you guys firing in the right direction to be able to kind of continue this one all throughout this performance?
Yeah, you always want to start making every single shot during every game, but we knew they were going to fight and come back. It's March Madness. Everyone's playing with their season on the line, so we didn't let that, inflate our egos too much because we knew they were going to battle, and I think our guys did a good job trying to stay as level as possible. Obviously, it boosted the momentum a little bit, but, we had some adversity, and I think we battled great throughout the rest of the game. So,
Josh Kirschenbaum, Associated Press. Carter, that second half run, those dunks really started stacking up on each other. When you guys are seeing all that success around the rim, how do you kind of feel like that builds among everybody to do that?
I think, like Trey said, for us, it's just trying to stay level, just making good play after good play, simple play after simple play. And I think when we make simple plays, we're one of the best teams.
And Carter, I'm going to follow that too. Like for you to have the block on one end, the dunk on the other, and that sequence there in the first half, kind of how that seemed to be right in the middle of your guys' run there. Kind of how did that kind of the mood on the sideline after that, and kind of the way you guys feeling at that point?
I think I just give all the credit to my teammates and the coaching staff. They've been getting on me all year to play hard, play harder, play harder. And I think, obviously, you want to play your best in March, but just making simple plays and making effort plays, they kind of stack up, and that's why runs happen.
Hi, Melissa Guzalogo, the Daily Wildcat. You guys had 12 first-half turnovers, but only 4 in the second. I was just wondering what the adjustment was to decrease the errors you had.
You know, coach just came in at halftime and told us we had to be smarter of taking care of the ball. You know, we pride ourselves on taking care of the ball, and I think the second half we really locked in on, you know, the little mistakes that we were making in the first, and we're being more, you know, more stronger with the ball when we're driving and not playing too loose with the ball, so getting off it early. So just easy adjustments that, you know, we got to go into the next game with.
You guys are easy.
Anything else for the players? All right, we'll let the players head out.
So let's 6, 7.
What about the coach?
I think we have a few for the coach.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Schaefer Murray, Washington Sports Network. Coach, just you've been in the wrong end of these situations before. 5 guys in double figures. Just talk about what you kind of said to the guys to get you prepared and kind of just run away with this thing before you had a chance to even.
Well, I mean, I guess if the wrong side's 16-2 in your last first-round games, you know, I mean, I guess that's a wrong side that I'm willing to live with a little bit. The odds are pretty good. You know, I mean, it's amazing, you know, that not that Gonzaga needs any pub, but I think Coach Few won a 16th or 17th straight first-round game, which is like, it's almost mind-boggling. It's like an all-time record. You know, we want to be that consistent too. And, you know, we just had our mantra was it's Akron all week. And you know, we kind of have, you know, we have, you know, some behind the scenes things we talk about to keep us centered and understand that we don't need to get ahead of ourselves. And in these games like this, it's really important to control your emotions. You can't get desperate. You can't let the moment, you can't let crowd noise, you can't let one of their threes feel like 6 points. So you just kind of dial back your emotions again, and you know, and just kind of stick to the plan. And I thought our guys were sensational at that tonight, so I was really proud of them.
Tommy, Tim Booth from the Seattle Times, back here in the corner. Is that toward the ceiling of where you guys can play offensively between what you did on the boards, assists, and maybe just the efficiency that you had at that end of the floor?
Obviously, it's a great offensive game, and you know, I want to see what else is out there. You know, I mean, I'm not going to put any limitations on us. I challenged our guys before the game. You know, asked them, could we out-rebound these guys by 15? And I think the answer ended up being yes. I think we out-rebounded them by 31, which is, you know, that's how you give yourself a lot of margin for error if you can control the glass like that. But in order to do that, you got to get them to miss shots. And when you miss shots, you got to have guys that assume you're going to miss and pursue rebounds. So just a great, you know, moment-by-moment effort by our guys. You know, they stacked up lots of good moments, you know, within possessions, and I thought it was as tight as we played defensively, you know, all year against a team like that with our switches and our coverages. I thought our guys did a great job.
Coach, Greg Bell, the News Tribune here locally. Now that you're here, how do you feel the Big 12 and your schedule prepared you tangibly in nights
Well,
like this?
listen, I made no bones about it. It was a real challenge, but we loved every second of it. You know, it was awesome. I mean, going through it, I feel like you know, it's going to make me a better coach, which ultimately is going to help our program long term. I feel like it got our players better. I mean, each one of these 3 guys next to me here, what's really cool is, you know, I mean, if I had more time, and trust me, I don't want to be here all day, I could get into specific, you know, parts of the season or games where they really struggled. And for each one of those guys to step up today on this stage and play the way they did, it shows a lot of growth in development. So I'm really proud of the guys because ultimately, you know, that's what you want. You want your players to continue to get better. And, you know, I'm the keeper of the gate, but, you know, they're the stars. And so to see them go out and shine like that tonight was pretty special.
Dev Lucas, WZIP Akron. You guys were 3 for 10 from the line. Is that a level of concern heading into the next round against Oregon or Liberty?
No, we're a great free throw shooting team. But you know, if you would have told me we had to be 12 from 25 from 3 or 3 from 10 from the line, I mean, I might have taken that. We missed our first 5 free throws, which you know or maybe 6. You know, that's who we are. I think this is one of our better free throw shooting teams we've had. You know, I mean, the one stat that's interesting to me is usually, you know, one of our goals is we want to make more free throws than our opponents attempt. And we were on the flip side of that tonight, and that doesn't happen too often to us. So, yeah, and then, you know, obviously we turn the ball over more than our opponents. So, I mean, fortunately, we were really efficient offensively, and and shot the ball well from three, and got the ball inside a bunch, at the rim. So, I guess there were some trade-offs tonight, but I'm pretty sure we'll be fine from the free throw line.
Just got time for a couple more.
Hey, Tommy. Jaden Bradley was 3 of 5 from beyond the arc today. That's an element of his game we haven't seen a ton this season. Does that give you guys an advantage through the rest of the tournament? What do you think about that development?
Obviously, I've had conversations with him and KJ, a little bit on three-point shooting. But at the end of the day, I really trust those guys, and I want them to know that I have confidence in them, and I want them to shoot threes when they're comfortable. They don't feel like they have to shoot them all the time. But if they can step up, the combination of those two and make a few threes here and there, it's really an added element, because what teams are deciding to do is not guard them. And listen, that's hard. That's hard living, not guarding somebody, because you're giving up open shots in a meaningful moment. Those guys are both savvy players. They understand how to drive and play off it. It's not like this is the first time somebody's guarded them like that. So, I think they both. KJ had to travel early, going a little bit too quick on it. But other than that, I thought they handled it great.
I think that's all we have time for.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.